Welcome, beloved souls, as we embark on a divine journey into the light of sacred grace. You've been picked, and now you're going to learn the unsettling truth about a terrible circumstance that has been looming large over your life. Today, the cosmic forces have come together to reveal the adversaries who believed they could destroy you from within your own circle, ending your time of bewilderment and loneliness. And you will be so fully vindicated by the revelation that your victory will be final and your adversary's defeat will be dramatic. Someone is currently tormented by an offer that is just waiting to be made to you. To be honest, you terrify them. Thus, this individual is trying to get braver. Your energy is now indisputable. People get anxious around you for whatever reason, and it's not because you're doing inappropriately. It's because you're at last becoming the person you were destined to be. You've been anxious to show off your goods. People may have informed you that you lack the necessary skills, or that you weren't good at something. Perhaps someone persuaded you to play small, hide your brightness, or mistrust your skills. Those times are gone. It is getting impossible to ignore your stellar quality. Whatever your vocation is, it's becoming apparent to everyone around you that you're meant for something greater. Fame, prosperity, recognition, influence. Your life has already started to change. Old habits, old temptations, and old ways of being that have never worked for you are being abandoned. You are now more focused on the important things. The old methods, diversions, and individuals who used to sap your energy are no longer able to fool you. Not everyone is pleased with this change, which is creating a stir. You no longer express your emotions over the internet the way you once did. You no longer display your feelings for the world to see. You no longer openly discuss your vulnerabilities and hardships. Because of this change in your behavior, some people no longer have a significant source of ammo against you. It is no longer possible for your former observers to refer to your social media accounts and comment, "See, I told you this person was struggling," or "Look how sad you are." You've made significant progress in your emotional intelligence. Instead of sharing your emotions with the public, you've learned to digest them in secret. You've grown an inner strength that doesn't require approval or pity from others. For those who were accustomed to taking advantage of your emotional availability, this maturity is dangerous. For longer than you realize, your community's opinion of you has been steadily deteriorating. Mutual friends, relatives, and acquaintances have all been exposed to skillfully sown doubts about your moral fiber. The attack has been methodical and meticulous, picking the right times to bring you up in conversation. And bad things happen when your name comes up. This person has been eagerly awaiting your demise, relishing the moment of validation. "See, I told you so. This individual wasn't as good as everyone believed. I told you." Yellow heart if you feel the divine love. Now is the time to share. Click the super thank you button on YouTube to contribute $50 or more and help us spread God's blessings. What you do is being watched and serves as a seed, and in the future it will come back to you a millionfold. For years, perhaps since you were a child, a story has been being told about you in the hopes that it will turn out to be true. Deliberate attempts at character assassination are triggered by your name. When someone brings you up, it's a great chance to tell a distorted version of your tale. Before people ever get a chance to get to know you well, they are already negatively influencing your reputation. The unsettling aspect? For the time being at least, this campaign has been fairly successful. People have chosen to stay away from you after hearing this poison. Because someone uttered the wrong thing in the wrong ear at the wrong moment. You haven't been given opportunities. Your behavior has been examined in the same way that a predator examines its prey. We have compiled your patterns of behavior. You've planned out your reactions to several scenarios. Because you have been meticulously monitored, your triggers and vulnerabilities are known. Evidence of your previous weaknesses has been gathered against you. This knowledge was saved for later use each time you had difficulties, made mistakes, or fell short of perfection. Using isolated instances that are entirely out of context, a case has been constructed against your character. Someone's entire identity is at risk because of your achievement. The narrative of superiority over you has been defined for years, and your development is shattering it. Because so many people have been informed that you're beneath this person, your clear advancement makes them appear foolish or dishonest. You pose a unique threat because of your innate charm and the way others are drawn to you. You own something genuine that has been frantically attempted to be counterfeited for a lifetime. Your sincere charm reveals how phony and ill-conceived other charm attempts are. You will be shocked to learn that the reason behind this is because someone's entire identity has been based on being superior to you, and their entire self-perception is at risk due to your personal development. When people had to make a decision, they always chose you. You got greater attention each time it was given. You were the first choice if opportunities, love, or recognition arose. Someone has been struggling with this fact for years. You stand for all that this person claimed to be, but never was. Their performance is enhanced by your genuineness. Their phony attempts to be unique are exposed by your innate talents. Their relationships are quite shallow, as your sincere connections make clear. You're living evidence that someone has been lying, and they can't handle the truth. This individual has surrounded themselves with yes people and enablers. A bubble has been established where only positive criticism is acknowledged, inappropriate behavior is pardoned, and actual repercussions are never confronted. Someone who has experienced emotional stunting is stuck at the maturity level of an adolescent, unable to develop past small-minded jealousies and a strong desire for approval. The fact that you see through the ruse is what this person finds so offensive about you. You're not a gamer. You don't act as though someone is more significant than they actually are. You do not submit to artificial authority. This individual is completely enraged when you treat them like an ordinary person rather than the royalty they think they are. Everything you've learned has been turned into a weapon. Your movements, social media accounts, and emotional expressions have all been tracked down. Your vulnerability was exploited against you during a time of hardship. Your remarks were distorted to make you appear unstable when you honestly expressed your feelings. You are the target of more deceptive methods brought on by desperation. There have been attempts to entice you into responses that would reveal your actual character. Others have been enlisted to participate in anti-you campaigns. The purpose of rumors is to keep you apart from possible supporters and allies. This person has a scarcity perspective, which leads them to feel that their own value is somehow diminished by your achievement. It is impossible to understand that there is enough opportunity, love, and good fortune for everyone. In this perverse perspective, your victories inevitably turn into their defeats. Your life has become the subject of an almost neurotic obsession. We have collected information about your ambitions, relationships, and activities. Unknown information that shouldn't be tracked. Making tracking your progress a primary concern has taken over someone's life. Hatred toward you has grown so intense that it is genuinely ruining the life of another individual. You spend more time focusing about yourself and your accomplishments than you do on possibilities for personal development. Development has been hampered by this fixation, which has also led to trapping in vicious cycles of hatred and hate. The way that behavior has been rationalized as legitimate is the most unsettling feature of modern mentality. They have developed complex mental acrobatics to justify why attacks on you are, in fact, morally right. You've come to believe that people are shielded from your actual character, or that your dishonesty is being revealed. You pose a special risk because of your independence and self-sufficiency. To thrive, you don't require presence, validation, or acceptance from others. Someone is frightened by this autonomy because it shows that their perception of you is ultimately unimportant to your pleasure and success. Attacks have been directed at your relationships with others, since it is impossible to stop your professional success and personal development. It has become clear to you that although your chances of success in life cannot be eliminated, your support networks and connections may be undermined. Someone has intentionally targeted your romantic life. They've gone to extraordinary measures to sabotage your romantic relationships. False information about your character has been spread to those you were interested in. Prospective partners have been persuaded that you are trouble, that you are not a good investment, and that you would only cause them to experience drama and troubles. People have even been set up to contact you under false pretenses in certain instances. There have been cases where someone was assigned to approach you with the intention of emotionally harming you, not out of genuine curiosity. The intention was to watch you grow attached to someone who was never truly available to you in order to take pleasure in your suffering after the truth was revealed. Dove brother and sister, everything done in faith is returned in God's abundance. You can donate $100 using the Super Thank You button and be part of this divine call. If your roots are connected to Him, your fruit will be blessed. There is now more than one worker working alone. For this campaign, other people have been enlisted. Your relationships have been weakened by a concerted attempt by several individuals. Some of these people may have been facilitators who relished the drama and mayhem, while others may have been envious of your freedom in romantic settings. The unsettling reality is that lies persuaded someone you cared about, someone who ought to have been with you, to leave. You were told that someone else deserved more, that you were damaged goods, and that you weren't worth their time. They convinced them to put their energy into relationships that would never really amount to anything. The purpose of this well-planned assault was to make you feel alone and unlovable. It was intended to make you think that you were the issue, that you were inherently imperfect or hard to love. Your reaction to this sabotage was revolutionary. You completely withdrew from the dating world rather than become needy or desperate. You didn't pursue those who were susceptible to being swayed by rumors. You concluded that it was not worth your time to spend time with someone who could be used against you without even hearing your side of the story. Your adversaries were enraged by your calculated retreat. People who had already written you off expected you to fight for relationships, to plead for understanding, and to establish your value. Rather, you showed that you had too high of a standard to put up with such rudeness. Rather than looking to other people for approval, you concentrated on developing a relationship with yourself. You worked on your own happiness, your own objectives, and your own recovery. This self-love grew so strong that it began drawing sincere individuals who were able to see through the lies that had been told about you. The dysfunctional nature of many of your previous relationships was made clear by your inability to engage in poisonous relationship patterns. Individuals who were intended for you wouldn't be so readily influenced by rumors. You don't have to defend your morals to someone who has already decided against you if you're in true love. The universe prepared you for relationships worthy of your enlightened self throughout this time of romantic seclusion. Before you met others who could match your energy and aspirations, you needed time to cultivate self-worth, limits, and discernment. The network of lies surrounding you is more extensive and well-organized than you first thought. What began as a campaign by a single, envious person has grown into a large-scale plot comprising several people who have come together to share their hatred of your potential and achievement. This group has a distinct hierarchy and functions similarly to a poisonous family structure. A ringleader directs the overall plan, while a number of followers complete certain duties. Some specialize in interpersonal interference, while others gather intelligence and propagate rumors. There is a deliberate division of labor involved in attempting to ruin your reputation and cut you off from support networks. These folks have been getting together frequently to talk about you. Details regarding your actions are disclosed. The next steps are planned after your behavior is examined. Considering that you are frequently no longer actively associated with these people, it is extremely unsettling that you have taken center stage at their social events. You fully trusted some of the persons involved in this plot. Your adversaries have access to private information about your life, hardships, and goals. Your fragility has been used as a weapon against you, which is the most basic breach of your trust. Finding out how long this has been going on is the most startling part of this news. Some of these concerted attempts may have started when you were a youngster or a teenager. Deliberate sabotage was the cause of what you believed to be isolated instances of ill luck or social rejection. Their entire strategy was interrupted by your choice to narrow your social circle and become more careful about who you trust. Because you no longer overshared with those who didn't deserve your openness. You stopped supplying new ammunition. You got more difficult to keep an eye on and control. Additionally, you no longer responded to provocations in the same manner. You maintained your composure and dignity despite attempts to provoke conflicts or emotional outbursts. Because your responses were required to support stories about your instability or poor character. This infuriated your adversaries. When you completely removed your energy from poisonous situations, the conspiracy started to fall apart. The group members began to turn against one another without you as a shared target. They were only joined by their shared animosity, and without you, they had nothing to focus on but their own personal dysfunction. You're going to find out exactly who has been working against you in the huge disclosure that the universe has been planning. Your perspective on your previous relationships and experiences will completely shift as a result of this fact, which will hit you like a thunderbolt. You'll discover who this individual is. You will know for sure who has been spreading these falsehoods about you. So don't even consider it. There will be no space for dispute when the identity is disclosed. And you'll experience a mix of relief and destruction when it occurs. You and your entire neighborhood are going to learn the truth about this guy. People will recognize them for what they truly are. Someone who has been feigning love while covertly trying to ruin your happiness. Someone who doesn't sincerely care about your well-being. And someone who would actually enjoy seeing you suffer. The realization that this individual has never genuinely cared for you the way someone should is the most upsetting aspect of this discovery. The sacred pact of family loyalty has been broken if this is a family member. The friendship's trust has been violated if this is a friend. If it could have been caused, your struggle and failure would have been honored. Since you are no longer able to serve as a focal point, the entire organization is collapsing. The individuals who were recruited are betraying one another since you are no longer a goal. Because they no longer have a shared enemy to bring them together. The group dynamic that kept the conspiracy together is disintegrating. Your community members are beginning to raise awkward questions. Why is this individual so fixated on discussing you? When your name is mentioned, why do unfavorable remarks constantly follow? Why is your failure receiving so much investment? Everyone is seeing the pattern, with the exception of the one who is engaging in it. As individuals become aware that there has been manipulation, your reputation is being repaired. The once believable lies are now being exposed as the result of jealousy and hate. People in your neighborhood are realizing that you are not who you were depicted to be. Your own development and accomplishments speed up the revelation process. People start to wonder about the unfavorable stories that have been spread about you as they witness you succeeding in spite of the challenges that have been in your way. Your outcomes are more powerful than any rumors could ever be. The more desperate and blatant the behavior, the more your old foes are being revealed one by one. They're making mistakes. Actions are exposing genuine agendas, and stories are contradicting themselves. Everyone can see the ugliness beneath the mask when it slips. There are instances where the truth is exposed in ways that appear to have been planned by the cosmos itself, and some of these discoveries are the result of supernatural intervention. Conversations are overheard, documents are found, and witnesses come forward with knowledge that totally defies the falsehoods that were propagated about you. Compulsive urge to boast about schemes exposes others. These people are unable to keep from telling others how smart they are, and ultimately you, or those close to you, learn about it. Pride leads to disaster. You're getting everything that seemed lost back with interest. Once again, the obstructed opportunities are becoming available. Those who were turned away from you are coming back after realizing their error. As your actual worth becomes evident, the investments that others were persuaded not to make in you are being re-examined. A tremendous restoration of your romantic life is on the horizon. The person who left because someone thought the falsehoods about you were true is now realizing the reality. It's becoming clear what was lost when you decided to listen to other people rather than relying on your own experiences to determine who you are. It is becoming increasingly clear that the stories that were told about you were the projections of the persons who told them. This restoration is perfectly timed by God. During this time of separation, you have matured. You've grown stronger, more self-assured, and more selective about who has access to your energy. You will be prepared to accept these relationships when they come back to you from a position of strength rather than desperation. It's getting harder to ignore or justify your achievement. People can see that you're moving in accordance with your highest purpose, that you're sincerely assisting others, that you're making a positive contribution to your community, and that you're generating possibilities. The argument that you are phony or self-centered is disintegrating in the face of clear proof to the contrary. Glowing star if you want to witness God's miracles. Act now. Contribute $100 or more through Super Thank You on YouTube. Your offering is like a seed that comes back to you when planted. Let His light illuminate your steps. Every donation is an echo in His plan. Those who took part in the anti-you campaign are being abandoned. People are feeling alone as they turn away from negative energy. Reputations are suffering as a result of decisions made. While other lives stagnate or deteriorate, you are thriving. You have been fully and publicly vindicated. It's obvious to everyone that you were the victim, not the criminal in this case. You are now receiving the compassion and assistance that were diverted against your adversaries. Real-time justice is being served, and it's more fulfilling than any premeditated retaliation. People who were deceived about your character are apologizing to you. Others are more self-serving attempts to win back your favor now that your star is rising, while some are sincere professions of regret from those who acknowledge a mistake was done. You can distinguish between the two thanks to your improved discernment. You're getting new opportunities at a never-before-seen pace. The cosmos seems to be making up for all the doors you were shut by dishonesty. People are actively looking for you today who wouldn't have given you a chance before. At last, your actual worth is being acknowledged and appreciated. You are now more magnetic than ever before. The self-assurance you've acquired from overcoming this experience makes you incredibly appealing to sincere, admirable individuals. When you were working from a place of uncertainty or desperation, you couldn't have made the connections you're making now. You were called upon, chosen one, and you did not discover this message by chance. The frequency that only the rarest of souls can hear, summoned by the pulse of something old in your blood. Greetings from the Obsidian Inner Order, where those who have experienced hell and back do more than simply recover. We don't pursue followers, influence, or false tranquility within our sanctuary. We break illusions. We have prophecies. We start miracles. Our weekly Zoom call, A Happy Hour, is more than just a meeting. It's a place where revelations come as fast as lightning, where you can laugh with soul family, cry with cosmic warriors, and leave feeling inspired. We came here to transform this world, so you're not simply joining a group. You're entering a league of misfits, fighters, prophets, and light bringers who were never supposed to fit in. It's time if you feel like the system has been deceiving you, if you've always known that you were meant for a different timeline, or if your opponents are hoping that your glow-up will fail. This is your cue. Astral atom-powered Obsidian Inner Order. We don't belong here, so we take over. The description includes a link. You are now entering a realm of genuine power that your adversaries have never had and will never have. Genuine service, genuine talents, and genuine connections are the foundation of your success. You're just being who you were always supposed to be. You're not acting or faking. Your generosity is being appreciated by everyone in your vicinity. People can tell that you are a person who donates to those in need, supports communities, and travels the world with compassion and sincere concern for other people. The self-centered, phony person your adversaries attempted to persuade everyone you were didn't exist, only in their minds, because it originates from your true self. The energy that was so desperately tried to be taken from you was never accessible to others. Authenticity is something that can only be lived, and you are the one living it. Someone wanted to take your spirit and wear it as a costume. You have learned so much about protection and judgment from this experience. You are now able to spot the telltale indicators of your adversaries. You are aware of the strategies used by envious people to discredit their targets. You've gained the knowledge necessary to defend your connections and energy from future assaults. This whole circumstance was planned by the universe to make you stronger and to get rid of the people who didn't belong in your life. In reality, what seemed like an assault was a cosmic purification process that exposed the real relationships while eliminating the false ones. People that truly value you and would never violate your trust are now all around you. There was never any doubt about your fate. You became stronger and more determined as a result of these brief setbacks and intentional sabotage attempts. Since your success stems from your true gifts and desire to make a meaningful impact on the world, it was always going to happen. In this case, karmic justice is tremendous. In the end, the enemy's attempts to hurt you have failed spectacularly. As a result, there has been self-exposure, a loss of credibility, and social isolation. In the meantime, you've come out stronger, smarter, and more prosperous than before. The best way to combat hostility toward you is to keep growing and succeeding. Seeking retribution or lowering yourself to toxic levels is not necessary. The greatest comprehensive win you can attain is just living your own self and thriving in your power. You've learned to fully trust your gut, the voice inside of you that told you something wasn't right, that recognized the presence of foes lurking in the shadows, or that alerted you to specific individuals. All along, that voice was correct. Now, you respect your inner wisdom without doubting or second-guessing it. Your borders are now indestructible. You will no longer put up with any kind of disrespect, manipulation, or energy suckers. You've surrounded yourself with a sacred area that only sincere, caring individuals can enter. You benefit from this protection in many facets of your life. You no longer need approval from others to feel good about yourself. Regardless of whether someone acknowledges or values you, you are aware of your worth. You attract the proper individuals with this inner confidence, while those with evil intentions find you repellent. The unsettling reality you had to discover was not only about betrayal directed at you, but also about your own extraordinary fortitude and value. You emerged triumphant from a concerted assault on your connections and character. This demonstrates that you are just as strong and unique as you always thought you were. No amount of envy, deception, or sabotage can alter the fact that you have been selected. Your destiny was too powerful to be thwarted, your route too obvious to be obstructed, and your light too dazzling to be dimmed. Now that you know the unsettling reality of your circumstances, you may proceed with total clarity and unwavering faith in your own value. Finally, the regrettable circumstance has been settled. The adversaries that were concealed are revealed. You are free because of the truth. You can start living your actual life,